welcome back to my film and TV channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. We've got a musical again for you today. I do like musicals. If you watch any of my vlogs, you know I quite enjoy these. Well, it's something I'm not familiar with, this one. I've never seen it. I say there's, I know at the moment, at this point in time, I'm looking forward to Wicked being put onto the screen. One of my probably my favourite musical at the time, which gives you an idea of the style of musical I like. But this is what I wouldn't particularly go out my way to watch initially, and I was hoping watching the film it might be give me another musical to watch in the future. But we'll talk about whether that worked or it didn't work for me. We're going to look at something. Well, so you know the name of this. It's The Colour Purple. Of course, coming of age musical period drama film, and of course we've had a film. I wouldn't mind a decent series on this as well. I don't think we've had a series, have we? I'm off the top of my head, guys. I can't. I must have missed it if we had anyway. But let's have a look at the musical. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications, everything film and TV. Reviews like this, previews, information vlogs, lots of different things. An eclectic mix, if you like. And I do little vlogs on my football team as well, Manchester City. So if you know anyone who's interested, or you can kick them in my direction if they are, or you yourself are interested to be here, or you want to get into football and want to support the best team in England, and probably the best team in the world at the moment, because we're the world champions. So do so. Be great to have you on board. Right, so leave your comments, guys. I'll give you a response or a thumbs up, whatever they need, and give me a little thumbs up for this vlog as well. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of The Colour Purple, the musical, and whether you like musicals. I mean, you do get people reviewing these things that don't like them. I mean, it's no point someone who just likes horror. I mean, I like everything, so I'm all right. But someone who just likes horror reviewing a musical, what's the point? He doesn't like music. They don't like musicals. They're not going to give it a good review. So here we go. But I've been as honest as I can for a guy who likes musicals. 2 hours 21 minutes, so quite long, but you'd expect that. I mean, you expect 2.5, 3 hours for a theatre production anyway. It was directed by Blitz Bazawule, that's a great name, based on the stage musical, of course, of the same name. There's slight differences, which in turn is based on the 1982 novel of the same name by Alice Walker, and it's a second film adaptation of the novel following the 1985 film, of course, directed by Spielberg, produced by Spielberg and Quincy Jones. Great film. Yeah, I did like that. I've got the urge to go back and watch that now, watch this in fairness. And of course, Spielberg and Jones returned to produce this 2023 film, along with stage musicals producers Scott Sanders and Oprah Winfrey, who stars in this as well. Only a bit part, but she's in this film, in this musical as well. Of course, Oprah was in the 1985 film. Amongst the stars, we've got Taraji P. Henson, Danielle Brooks, Coleman Domingo, Corey Hawkins, H.E.R., Halle Bailey, Louis Gossett Jr., Felicia Pillman, Passy, Chiari, John Batiste, Ewanjanu, Ellis Taylor and Fantasy Barrino in her film debut. Brooks and Barrino reprise their roles from productions of the stage musical. There is some excellent talent as far as singing is concerned in this, so that is one noticeable thing. And of course it tells the story of Celie, an African-American woman living in the American South during the early 1900s, and it's released in the US on December the 25th. All these scores and comments I'm going to give you now, and my comments itself, are at the 19th of January 2024, 12 noon UK time. Rotten Tomatoes like it, 86% positivity of their 190 critics, an average rating of 7.4 out of 10. The consensus, they stick all their heads together and this is what they say: building on the legacy of the previous film adaptation while incorporating elements of the stage musical, The Colour Purple is a crowd-pleasing testament to resilience in the face of trauma. It probably is. Metacritic, the other one we look at, their average is 73 out of 100, so a little bit less, based on 44 critics. 33 were positive and 11 were mixed, which is interesting, but no negative, so that's all good. And it scored anywhere between 40 out of 100 and 100 out of 100. The public, Metacritic users 7.6 out of 10. Internet Movie Database 7.4 out of 10, and that's based on over 5,000 scores and reviews. So that might drop a little bit, I think, over the coming weeks, months, etc. And that's the scores, guys. What about my score? What about Burned? As I said, I'm a big fan of musical theatre. It is an interesting mix of songs. I'm not really into the churchy gospel stuff, I'll be honest with you. You might want to clap along with it, but as far as watching it on stage or on screen, it doesn't really appeal to me. But that's mainly at the start. It does produce some sort of reasonable, okay numbers as well as it goes. So a bit more modernish, a bit more all that jazz style stuff as the thing moves along. I'm not too sure though the subject matter being turned into a musical totally worked for me. I just didn't see the point. The great story, the original film, fantastic for me. I can't see the need to put it into a musical. The non-gospel songs have a sort of old-fashioned feel to them for me. They're not very modern. As I say, my current favourite thing is Wicked. I didn't quite get into Hamilton. It's all right. I like some of the bits, some of the songs in Hamilton. I've listened to it a few times now. But that's probably okay, from a sort of more modern viewpoint. But it's a sort of old-fashioned feel. Some of the songs in this as well, which is okay. It's fine. I didn't dislike it, but I thought the musical element overall just dilutes what is in real life a gritty tale, a gritty book, a gritty film, of course. And for me, it just became a little bit drab. I mean, as a stage musical, I certainly wouldn't have come out humming the tunes, that's for sure, and it's not a musical I'd ever bother to go and watch at the theatre. Now I've watched it like this, I've no inclination to try and watch it again and get into the songs anymore, because I don't think there's any songs that really impress me. It's just not a great story with what appears as just a few disjointed songs thrown in. Some don't seem to have any relevance to the story, and they don't always move the story along. So in themselves, okay. But as I say, as a story, it just makes everything a little bit mundane for me. I got a little bit bored with this 2-hour, 20-minute film, in fairness. As I say, some great singers, full credit for that. A lovely ending. I thought the ending was superb, if you get through it. But overall, I've just thought it all a little bit dull and very okayish and uninspiring, in fairness. I will score it because it's certainly worth a score, because I think it had a $90 to $100 million budget, and yes, people like it. As I say, Internet Movie Database 7.4, people are liking it, but it just wasn't for me. I just don't think there was enough in it for me. I just, it sort of falls between two stools of a sort of all that jazz sort of style film and a gritty, powerful thing, which is what it is. I know it's horrible to say. I wanted a bit more grit. And I just thought the musical side of it just diluted it all. So I would be probably rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, I couldn't be fresh on this one. I'd be mixed, which some are, of course, on Metacritic. And I'm going to give it my minimum score, which I do give stuff, so I say it's okay. I'm just going to give it a 5 out of 10 and leave it at that, and move on to something else. As I said, I can't envisage I'll ever watch this again, but I will certainly watch the actual 1980s film again, that's for sure. Let me know what you think. It'd be great to hear from you. Till we meet again, that's one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.